So in the last video, we saw that there are disadvantages for the file-based system. And so these difficulties prompted the development of a new approach, which is the database approach. And so when we talk about a database management software like Oracle, the one that you have installed or you should have installed, which is a database management software, we're talking about some powerful software tool that allows many things. Number one, it allows storage. So it's a place for you to store information. It allows manipulation. It allows you to change this data, okay? And it allows for rapid searching. It allows you to retrieve information. So you have information that is stored and can be changed as needed with paying attention to concurrency control. You have searches, rapid searches and retrievals of data in different ways so that you can generate reports for different purposes, and also keeping in mind the security aspect so that different people can access only the data that they need. So this is the purpose of the database management software. And so there are many uses for database management software. For example, a company might use it to keep track of the customer information in a database. Colleges keep track of student information in a database. Stores keep track of inventory items in a database. And so if you think about a company like Amazon, Amazon has a database that stores all the items that they're selling, has a database of all their customer information, has a database of all the sellers that they work with, has a database of all the credit cards, the credit card customers that they have. So, you know, a company like Amazon might not even have just one database. They might have several databases, each database responsible for maintaining certain pieces of information or some aspect. So we're talking about databases, and database has the word data. So what is data? So data is just factual information. So when you're just collecting information, this is called factual information. Now, this is a little different from actual information. So factual information is not exactly the same as information, and we'll see in a little bit. When we talk about data can be about anything. It can be about a person, a place, so it can be data about colleges, it can be data about events, flights that are going on, flights that are being, items that are being sold. Data can be about anything. When we talk about data, if you talk about data about a person, well, a person, there's a lot of data that we can store about a person. Their name, their address, their social security number, their phone number, their marital status. Now, every single fact that we store about a person, we call that a data element. So when we're going to be storing information in a database about something, we're going to be storing a bunch of data elements about this thing. So if I'm storing data about a person, I'm going to be storing several data elements. Their name is a data element. Their social security is a data element. Their birth date is a data element. So how is data different from information? And you know, once, like after this slide, we're probably going to be talking about data and information like interchangeably, but there is a slight difference between data and information. When we talk about data, we're usually talking about unorganized facts. So when you go and I say collect some data, you're doing some experiments, you're collecting data, you're just taking a lot of information on a lot of measurements. At that point, you're just collecting the data and writing it in, you know, under each other or putting it in a table. It's unorganized. But once you organize it, you go through it and you organize it, then it's called information. So data is just things that you collect, facts that you collect basically, and they are unorganized. When you organize them, then they become information. So for example, if I was to give you this line, you might think, okay, well, you know, of course now you know me, so you know that this is my last name, comma, my first name, and you know that here we're in Connecticut and 860 is a common common area code. So you say, oh, this is her phone number. But someone who might not know that might think this is my social security number. It looks like a social security number. So when you're collecting data, someone who looks at it might not be able to recognize what this data stands for. Now, how do I turn it into information? I say, okay, well, first you have the last name, then the second thing that comes is the first name, and then the last thing that you're going to see is the phone number. And so now this line of code with this information has become, with this line, last name, comma, first name, comma, phone number, now has turned this line into information. So it was data that I'm collecting. When I organize it and process it, then it becomes information.